Welcome to Zoe Stories. Caught in her dress, now I'm her boyfriend's girlfriend. It all started with a dare. A harmless, stupid little dare that spiraled way out of control. My name's Ethan. I'm 21, currently in college, studying graphic design. My life is usually quiet, roommates, classes, deadlines, repeat. Nothing too dramatic. I've been dating Emma for almost a year now. She's smart, kind, and way out of my league. And maybe that's part of what made me keep a certain secret from her. See, I've always been curious. Since high school, I'd sneak into my sister's room whenever she was out, try on a skirt, dab on some lipstick just to see. Not every day, not obsessively, but enough that it became my secret escape. Something about it made me feel lighter, different. I couldn't explain it and I didn't really want to. But after moving in with Emma and her roommate Becca, it became harder to ignore. Emma was amazing. But Becca? She was intense. Fashion-obsessed, always teasing, always testing limits. She had a loud laugh, a sharper tongue, and she'd often joke about how Ethan would make a cute girl, or how I had weirdly nice legs.
It was always just banter.
Until one afternoon changed everything. It was a Sunday. Emma had gone to her mom's for the weekend, and Becca was supposedly out shopping. I had the apartment to myself, and like any idiot with free time and no impulse control, I wandered into Becca's room. Not for anything creepy, I swear. I saw the closet slightly open, and hanging on the front of it was this dress. Soft pink, silky, short. Totally not something I should have been thinking about. But I stared, then stepped closer, then touched the fabric. 10 minutes later, I was standing in front of her mirror, wearing the dress. It zipped perfectly. It fit disturbingly well. And when I caught my reflection, I blushed. I had pulled my hair into a loose ponytail, added a bit of Becca's foundation, glossed my lips. I even found a bra and some padding to give myself shape. I looked different. Feminine.
Soft.
Just one photo, I thought. For memory. For the thrill. I picked up my phone, snapped a selfie, and the door clicked open. My heart stopped. Becca stepped in, 2 bags in her arms, talking into her phone. Then she looked up and froze. I screamed. She gasped. I tripped backward, nearly pulling the dress off the hanger. Becca dropped her bags and covered her mouth.
Oh, my God.
I begged her not to tell anyone. She didn't scream or laugh. Instead, she looked me up and down, cocked her head, and smirked. You know, she said, you really do have nice legs. Becca, please don't tell Emma. Please. Becca leaned against the doorway, arms crossed. This isn't what I expected to walk in on today, but I gotta admit, you've got potential. Wait, what? She sauntered over, pulled out her phone, and said, let's make a deal. A deal? You keep the dress on. I give you a proper makeover. You let me take a few photos. And I might consider keeping your little secret. My jaw dropped. She wasn't serious. But she was. Within minutes, I found myself sitting in a chair as Becca pulled out makeup brushes, curling irons, jewelry, and shoes. I'm not just going to let a canvas like you go to waste, she grinned. I wanted to resist. I wanted to run. But part of me didn't. Part of me was thrilled. Becca was fast, efficient, and terrifyingly good. Within an hour, I looked like someone completely different. Not Ethan. Not even close. She said, snapping a photo. You need a name. I don't. Emily, she cut in. You're definitely an Emily. I stared into the mirror. Emily stared back. What started as a one-time secret transformed into, well, something else entirely. Becca became obsessed. Every time Emma left the apartment, she'd drag me back into her room for girl time. Outfits. Heels. Posing lessons. She taught me how to walk, talk, even sit like a girl. And the worst part? I was enjoying it. There was something intoxicating about it. The way I moved. The way Becca looked at me. The way I looked at myself. But things got complicated fast. One Friday, Becca dared me to stay dressed as Emily until Emma came home. Just to see if you can hide it. I refused. She pouted.
Come on.
I'll do your makeup subtle. Loose top.
Jeans.
She won't even notice. If you can pull it off, I'll delete all the photos. Stupidly, I agreed. The plan was to pretend I'd been lounging in Becca's room, fully clothed, and dash to my own once Emma came through the door. But Emma came home early. Way too early. She walked in, smiled, and shouted, "Hey babe, you here?" Becca shoved me toward the living room.
Go.
Act normal. I stood stiffly, wearing a tank top, girl jeans, soft makeup, and a nervous smile. Emma froze. "What are you wearing?" I laughed. Too loud. "Laundry day." She frowned. "And the eyeliner?" My face burned. I was caught. Before I could explain, Becca swooped in. "Don't be mad, Emma," she said, all sweet. "It was my idea. We were just playing around. Ethan's been helping me test out some looks for my fashion channel." Emma blinked. "You're okay with this?" Becca grinned. "He looks cute, right?" Emma looked me over. Then something strange happened. She smiled. That night, Emma pulled me aside. "Ethan," she said softly, "how long has this been going on?" I stared at the ground. "A while." She paused. "Why didn't you tell me?" I was scared. Emma looked at me for a long moment. Then she hugged me. "Next time, tell me. I want to understand. I want to know you." Relief crashed over me. But that wasn't the end. Because the next day, Emma had an idea. "You know what would really freak Becca out?" she said, smirking. "If I dressed you up and we surprised her." I blinked. "You'd dress me?" She nodded. From now on, Emily's mine. And just like that, things flipped. Now it was Emma doing my makeup, picking my clothes, giving me nicknames. Becca watched with wide eyes. "Careful, Em," she whispered one day. "You might turn him into your girlfriend." Emma just laughed. "Who says I haven't already?" Weeks passed. Emily became part of my life. Quietly, secretly, but real. Emma liked it. Maybe more than she should have. One night, she asked me to wear the dress again. The one from Becca's closet. We were alone. Candles. Music. And then, the front door slammed open. A voice shouted, "Hey babe, I forgot my phone." It was Becca's boyfriend. Liam. He walked into the living room.
Saw me.
In Becca's pink dress. His eyes widened. "Who the hell is she?" Emma gasped. Becca froze. I stood there, frozen in heels, the spotlight on me. "And Liam?" He smiled. "Well, hello, gorgeous." Liam stared at me. I froze. Emma was holding my hand. Becca's jaw was practically on the floor. I was still in the dress, full makeup, heels completely exposed.
"Who's this?"
Liam asked again, stepping closer. No one spoke. The tension was so thick you could slice it with a nail file. Then Becca, queen of chaos, laughed. "That's Emily. She's our roommate's cousin, visiting from out of town." "Roommate's cousin?" Liam raised an eyebrow. "Since when do you have a roommate?" "We didn't tell you," Becca said, waving her hand. "It's temporary." He kept staring.
At me.
At my legs.
My hair.
My lips. "I swear I've seen her before." Emma jumped in. "You probably haven't. She's shy." I felt like I was going to pass out. My legs were shaking.
My heart was pounding.
I had to get out. But Liam took a step closer and smiled. "Well, shy or not, you look amazing." Emma's grip on my hand tightened. Possessive. Protective. Becca watched us like it was the most entertaining show she'd ever seen. When Liam finally left, after an awkward 5 minutes of small talk, I collapsed onto the couch. Emma paced the room. "Okay, that was way too close." Becca leaned back, smirking. Or maybe it was perfect. "What's that supposed to mean?" I asked. Becca shrugged. "You saw how he looked at you." "Yeah, and I hated it." "Did you?" she asked. "Because you didn't say a word. You stood there like some nervous little debutante." I flushed. I was trying not to pass out. Emma sat beside me, touching my arm. "Ethan, we need to talk." The tone in her voice told me this wasn't going to be a short conversation. Later that night, alone in our room, Emma closed the door and sat cross-legged on the bed. She patted the spot beside her. I sat. She looked at me with those gentle eyes. Do you like it? She asked. What? Being Emily. Wearing the clothes. The makeup. Everything. I hesitated. Sometimes, I admitted. It feels freeing, but also terrifying. She nodded. I get that. I really do. Silence. Then, if you want to keep doing it safely at your pace, I'll help. I looked at her, surprised. You would. Emma smiled. You're still you, just with better eyeliner. Over the next few days, Emily became a more regular visitor. Not every day, not always in full glam, but enough that the mirror started to feel less foreign. Emma even helped me pick out a few clothes online. Stuff that actually fit, that felt right. It wasn't just crossdressing anymore. It was discovery. Emma taught me how to contour. Becca taught me how to walk in stilettos without breaking my ankles. Together, they built Emily into someone real. But the world outside still scared me, especially Liam. 3 days later, disaster struck. Liam came back. This time he didn't knock. He barged in looking around. Where's Emily? He asked. We were all frozen again. Except this time, I was dressed down. Still slightly femme, but in jeans, a hoodie, no wig. Liam pointed. It was you, wasn't it? I couldn't lie anymore. Yes. He stepped closer. You fooled me. I thought you were a real girl. I'm sorry. Don't be, he said, suddenly smirking. I kinda liked it. Emma stood up. Back off, Liam. Becca grabbed his arm. You're done. Liam backed away, laughing. All right.
Chill.
Just saying, if Emily ever wants to talk, I'm around. And with that, he left. We stood in silence. Emma turned to me. He's not going to stay quiet. Becca nodded. He's going to tell someone. Maybe everyone. Panic rose in my chest. What do we do? Emma looked at me. We go public. Before he does. My eyes widened. Public. You don't have to show your face, she said gently. Just take control of the narrative. Becca grinned. We make Emily unstoppable. I didn't know what scared me more, being exposed or stepping fully into the spotlight. But as I stared at myself in the mirror, I realized something. Emily wasn't going away. And maybe I didn't want her to. It started with a whisper, then a DM, then a photo, then everything exploded. I woke up to my phone buzzing nonstop. Emma burst into the room. He did it. My heart dropped. What? She turned the screen toward me. Liam had posted a photo of Emily.
Me.
Full dress. Makeup. The caption? Ever seen your bro like this? And just like that, my secret was out. The messages flooded in. Bro, is that you? Is this a joke? Why do you actually look hot though? We need to talk. I didn't reply to any of them. I stayed in bed. All day. Curtains drawn. Hoodie up. Emma sat beside me. He doesn't get to define this. But he just did. She took my hand, then redefine it. It was Becca who lit the fire under both of us. She burst in holding a notebook. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Emma blinked. What? We fight back. On our terms. I shook my head. With what? More photos. Becca smirked.
No.
A video.
You. Me. Emma.
Telling your truth. Emma leaned forward. Not dramatic. Not defensive. Just honest. I swallowed. What if people laugh? Some will, Emma said gently. But others? They'll listen. It wasn't perfect. My hands trembled. My voice cracked. I wasn't even in full glam, just mascara, a little lip tint. But I told them how Emily began as curiosity. How I felt alive in those moments. How being her wasn't just pretend. It was relief. A breath I didn't know I'd been holding. Emma and Becca sat beside me, showing their support. Becca leaned in. Also, Liam's a jerk. Emma added, and a bad kisser. We laughed. Posted it. And waited. Thousands watched. Hundreds commented. Some cruel.
But most kind.
supportive, relatable. Thank you for saying this. I thought I was the only one. You're brave AF, girl. Screw Liam. Even a DM from someone unexpected. Liam's ex. He's been insecure since forever. You just shook him. I didn't hide after that. If anything, I embraced Emily. Tried new looks. Shared little moments. Even got a few collabs going with other crossdressers. One day, I stepped out with Emma to the mall. Dressed as Emily. Skirt.
Boots.
Light makeup. Holding Emma's hand. Some stares. Some smiles. And Emma whispered, I'm proud of you. You'd think Liam would disappear after that. But no. He showed up at the coffee shop 2 weeks later. Cornered me near the exit. I didn't mean for it to blow up like that. I raised an eyebrow. You posted it to hurt me.
He sighed.
Okay, yeah. But it backfired. I stared at him. Then smiled.
Good.
He nodded, awkward. For what it's worth, you looked really confident in that last post. I leaned in, soft but firm. Because I am. Then turned on my heel literally and walked away. Later that night, Emma and I lay on the couch. Netflix playing. My head on her lap. I don't know who I'm becoming, I said. She brushed hair from my face. That's the best part. You're not becoming someone else. You're just finally being you. I blinked up at her. Even if that means dresses and lip gloss? She smiled. Especially if it does. And in that moment, for the first time ever, I wasn't afraid of the next chapter. Because I already knew her name. Emily.